what's your thought on everybody that's not everybody doing this, but what's your thought on the cutting out here cutting everything with fentanyl?
Man, that's crazy. I personally was on fentanyl, which was medically prescribed because when I got shot, I had broke my jaw. So I didn't have I couldn't take a long-term opiate because,
Yeah.
you know, it was the pills, you got to swallow the pill, long-time opiate, but when your jaw broke, there's no way. So fentanyl had patches. So they
Patches,
put the
yeah.
patch on. So I had fentanyl pain patches. But what people don't understand about fentanyl is that pain patch that they give you, that pain patch is for 72 hours to soak through your skin. That's 72 hours of it, time released, going
Yeah,
into your body. It's not going
yeah.
in all at once. That's almost like if you take a pain patch, that pain patch, and use to lick it. You
Right,
could probably OD off that from licking it
right,
because you don't know how much of the actual drug is getting into your system. So what people are doing is they getting these fake water pills, trying to say is Xanax, whatever
right,
the popular pill is at the time. They trying to say it's Xanax or this or that. They got the logo on it. They got the pressers to make it look like the real Xanax or whatever. And then all
right.
they doing is getting like maybe like a water pill or something, a pill that don't do nothing, a placebo. You go on the internet, go buy some placebo pill, water pills, and
Right.
then they adding a coating of the fentanyl on it. So when a
Yeah.
person take it, they get high. So they like, oh shit, it's a real pill, but they don't even know how much what dose they taking.
Right.
And so that's how all these people are ODing. And then people are using the fentanyl to stretch the hair on. So
Yeah.
you know, you got people who people stepping on the hair on and trying to make all this profit. You know what I'm saying? They trying to stretch they fentanyl out. You know, uh, they normally stretch it. They stretch it with the lactose. Most people, that's how they stretch their hair on out, is with through the
Yeah.
lactose or whatever. So they stretching out with that lactose, but they making it super, super weak and then
Yeah.
throw that hit of fentanyl on it. So you can have
Yeah.
some weak ass hair. You can have some weak ass hair on, and then throw a little fentanyl into
Yeah.
it,
Damn.
and
Right.
that little dab of that fentanyl in it, and that motherfucker potent.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And a motherfucker don't know exactly what they getting. They ain't chemists. They don't know. They don't know what they doing. All they doing is trying to make some bread. And then it
Exactly.
seems like when it come to heroin, dope fiends, shit, they want the strongest high. They willing to take that risk.
And then I want to get as close to dying as possible.
Hey, bro, it's crazy. It's crazy because in my case, the lady in my case, the lady in my case, the older woman, she, uh, she, while she was on pretrial services on fighting our case, she gave her granddaughter fentanyl, and she overdosed and died. And then one of the, and then one of the, and then one of the actual co-defendants, he overdosed while he was on pretrial off of fentanyl. So like that's real. Like
Yeah.
she her if you give someone a drug and they OD, especially fentanyl, they
Yeah.
passed a law now. It's
You can
20
be
year
murdered.
20 the 20-year mandatory minimum sentence.
Right.
But I guess because she cooperated in this case, they gave her a break, and they basically they gave her the same time. They gave her the same time as she gave me. I got She got the same time as giving me. She got a shit. She got a murder charge and still got 3 months less than me. That
That's
lets you know how
crazy.
crazy our system is.
Exactly.
It was crazy at sentencing. Uh, it's all public record. Anybody can go back, but the judge was kind of going in saying that trying to say that the people in the conspiracy was pretty much he was seemed like as he was more mad about the the uh, the the co-defendants uh, being used as drug addicts to commit crime. I mean, using them as the people to go in and sign loan documents. He made it seem like they were the victims more than the victims. Like it seemed like he went. It seemed like he went. It seemed like he went. You know, he went. You know, harsh. He went harsh on the sentence
Right.
based on based on uh, them being considered homeless, being considered homeless and dope fiends. But to my recollection, I really didn't know anything about the people. But from what I was told, the people actually had stayed and had a place of residence. But I guess maybe were they, however they were doing what they were doing. I guess they were supposedly had been homeless and drug addicts. That was what it was brought out to be in court.
Right.
When things are brought out in a court, whatever narrative they paint out there, that's a narrative that people will go off of. I mean,
Right.
in a federal court, in order for you to get a reduction in your sentence, you have to admit to uh, you have to admit to the you have to admit to the crime, but you
Yeah.
have to admit to what they say. So a lot of people don't understand that when you see these people uh, saying that they admit, admitting to that they're admitting to what they're admitting to, the way the language that's put in there is a language that the federal government is putting in there.
Right. Right.
Because in a lot
Yeah.
of these pleas, people wouldn't admit to exactly how they're saying it because they're putting it in a perspective of what they think is not
Right.
the actual truth.
Right.
Because a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff, my case is perfectly open and sealed for people, not sealed, but perfectly open. You can go and get my PSR, you can go and get everything, and everything, everything that they're stating is not factual. Like they made it seem that I used my real cell phone and my real Google Voice uh, to commit this fraud, and that's part of the ways how they were able to catch up to me. Like, no, never would I do something that dumb to
Right.
use my real phone number and use my real IP address to log into some bank accounts using my real IP address and all that. That's completely false. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just crazy stuff. Like it's just crazy stuff when you look at these cases, and because right now I'm seeing people log in. I have people that's been like going into depth of my case, and uh, and they're making their assumptions based on that. And one of the assumptions they made was, well, get? How did this worker get the same amount of money as the person that made the ringleader? How did she make so much money? I mean, how did she get the same amount of time as him?